Good morning. I am Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dean, Mangalam College of Engineering. Today we have with us a renowned educationalist and a well-known technologist, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, the person who has been handling the post of Chief Operating Officer ICT for many years. Another well-known academician, Dr. Ashok Alex Phillips sir, is also with us to share the platform. Today, we are discussing the importance of National Education Policy NEP and how to uplift the outcome of students and to bring the nation to a unique level of technological and non-technological creativity. Now, I invite Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar sir to interact with us and to share your innovative views on this. I invite Dr. Ashok Alex sir to open the session. Sir, please.
So what are the priorities of higher education in modern India?
Government of India is planning to have the national education policy on a pan-India basis. So the Ministry of Education under the Honorable Minister Dharmendra Pradhanji, we are basically not only wants to give the best of the best education, we want to create innovators, we want to create researchers, we want to create more entrepreneurs, we want to create more businessmen, not only for our country, for the across the globe. As now the entire globe become a digital village. So you can speak with any person across the globe from anywhere, from any time. So we are keeping that in mind and we are trying to make sure that we will not only generate the resources and capacity building for our country, for the entire globe.
Okay, sir. You spoke about the internship program widely used in India or Indian campuses. So how do we improve it?
So basically, as you know, in the old NEP, we are producing a degrees and they are becoming unemployed because there is a gap between the industry and academia. So the student who is finishing his degree or diploma, they are not getting a sufficient industry experience. So with help of this new national education policy, we are basically taking the unioning the industry and the academia. So we have understood what is the requirements of the industry and started putting all that curriculum into the curriculum framework. That is one. The second one, we are connecting the industries with the students, and students will basically do an internship as well as apprenticeship with the industries by working on the real-time projects. So we have come up with an internship policy which basically mandates internship for up to 6 months. So what it really means is every student must do an internship, with some of the company across the country. Either it's an online based internship or an offline based internship or a virtual internship or a physical internship. Example, we started providing internships with the Urban Development Ministry, with the Railway Ministries, with the National Highway Authorities, with the Rural Development Ministry, with Microsoft, with IBM, with Cisco, you name it. We have 49,000 plus companies onboarded, and we are happy to share that in last 1.5 years we have given more than 16 lakh plus internship opportunities to our students. And the advantage is student no need to go to that particular location for the virtual and online internships. They can continue their studies in college and they can do internship opportunities. Example, recently we onboarded Salesforce. They need the more than 1 million resources in next 5 years. So we are training our students. They are at their colleges, they are studying and they are working with Salesforce on online mode. And they are interacting with the customers of Salesforce, they are learning from them and they are implementing the projects from the college itself. And once they finish the college, they are going to be onboarded with the Salesforce and various other organizations respective to Salesforce. So this kind of a BOT model, build, operate, transform, was translated into a internship format, and every company and MNCs as well as MSMEs, they all are started taking our students as an interns. At the same time, people who finished their graduates, example or a diploma or a degree, they can take up an apprenticeship. So where Indian government is paying up to 9,000 rupees per apprentice for 1 year, and the companies are using them as an apprentice size, and then they will become full-time employee of that company. So most of the MSMEs as well as National Highway Authorities, they all are using this apprenticeship model and they are utilizing. And imagine in our country we have 6.5 crore MSMEs, and each MSME takes 2 students as an interns or apprentice. So 12 crore opportunities are there only with respect to the MSMEs itself. So if we take up all other industries and MNCs, so we can provide up to 15 to 20 crore internships as well as apprenticeship. This is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, and he directed, and we are working on that, and we are trying to give internship opportunity to every student, whether they are a technical student or non-technical. Maybe because of I'm from ACT, you may have under impression that we are giving these internships only to a technologist. No, that's not the case. We are giving internships to a CA or to a lawyer, to a civil engineers, to everyone, from engineering background to non-engineering background or a pharma background or a medical background. The first person who got internship is an MBBS student. So this platform is for every student in our country, and slowly we are even moving towards a school also, because we strongly believe we need to create a very fundamental, real practical learning experience from the schooling. So we are starting from the 8th standard, and the students will go to the nearby shops, they will work there for some time, and they will get some kind of a credits. So that will added as an experience, the real-time experience. Imagine a student going there and working. So they will contribute. At the same time, the industry is also getting benefited. Example, imagine one of the company creating a very good product. They have a global market, but they don't know how to penetrate. So these students, they are very active in social media and all other digital areas. So they penetrate this, they will advertise, they will talk about it, they will discuss about it, they will share the uniqueness about the product. So that is giving an advantage to the companies, because that's a kind of a 21st century thought process is what the students are carrying. They are immensely benefiting out of these internship opportunities. So this is a win-win situation for the student as well as the industry.
So many questions are raising in lines with this 2020 NEP. So how do we incorporate the purposes of education with the classroom reform?
It's a very good question. After COVID pandemic, the way we learn is changed. If you see previously, if you ask, please come online for a class, no one used to attend. Everyone used to prefer the physical mode. But after COVID, the things was changed. There is a hybrid models got created, which we call it as a blended learning. So one is student will come to the college and learn what they want to learn. The second one is the online method. But in this online method, we are taking a very advanced approach, because Ministry of Education, we strongly believe every student is unique in learning. Every student methodologies are different. Example, I prefer learn using video based format. Maybe you prefer learning using textual based. Maybe another student learning using research oriented. So everyone has their different patterns. So you need to deliver the customized, personalized and adaptive learning, to the students, to give the best of the best. So as I mentioned earlier, the Ministry of Education intention is to give only the best of the best to the student. So we started creating the content, we started creating the methodologies in a way that it is adaptive in nature. It is personalized in nature. It is more customized in nature. I will give you a best example. Let's say I'm weak in mathematics and I'm very strong in science. So when I'm learning science, the system intelligently involve the mathematics in that. so that I unknowingly am learning mathematics, which is I am weak at, because I don't prefer opening the math book and read because I'm weak in mathematics. I'm just throwing an example. So now the system identifies that okay, he is very strong in science but not in mathematics. He is not preferring to go through mathematics material. So let me put that in this. So slowly, smartly, system changes the dimensions. Within the science itself, it will involve that mathematics so that the student will learn. The other side is customization and localization. Let's say my mother tongue is Malayalam. Okay, but the content there is in English or any other language. So now I will simply select Malayalam. The entire video will translate into Malayalam. So don't you think the knowledge of the student and the understanding of the student on that particular subject will increase? So this is called customization, because I am taking a preference of the students, and based on that the content will get delivered. So this kind of a systems is what we are creating for the students. As I already mentioned earlier, the thought process of the Ministry of Education is to give only the best of the best to the students, best of the best to the faculty, best of the best to the institutes. And at the same time, we strongly believe and see that the faculty is the center of this educational universe. So it is very important to improve the quality of the faculty and empower them and upskill them on various subjects. So those various subjects, we are doing lots of faculty development programs, and even we received a Limca Book of World Record for that. And we have taken things forward, and now we are empowering the faculty, and we are giving more research oriented material to the faculty, so that faculty will get empowered and they disseminate and share the knowledge to the students.
Sir, let me interfere, sir. Sir, this NEP program, it is accepted everywhere very well. I hope so. If it, sir, what about your comment? Any space for patent? Because nowadays we understand that the number of patents from the research scholars even is lesser. How do we bring it up, sir?
Yeah, it's a very good question, very valid question. In our country, the total patents are less than 1.2%. Very sad to see. But now the National Education Policy 2020 gives more importance to research and patenting. So one of the initiative we have taken is Kalam, where the students can patent anything for very less charge, because the cost of patenting and the time frame of patenting is huge. So now we are reducing that, and we are not only reducing the cost, we are reduce the cost up to 10,000 to 20,000 rupees, which is the least in the entire world. If you want to, the same student, if he is studying in US or any other country, if he wants to patent, the minimum cost is going to occur is more than 2 to 3 lakh rupees. But here in India, now we changed it and we made it like 10,000 rupees to 20,000. Within that also, we are even planning to give much more discount, and the legal fees also we are completely waiving it off. And the patent filing process, we are helping the student to file a patent, because student himself don't know how to file a patent, even though he has a very good idea how he wants to patent it. So we are giving this entire help. And on the researching side, as you all know that Government of India, we investing 50,000 crores on the researching and come up with national research framework. So now the thought process is, let us not only produce the workers. The thought process of National Education Policy 2020 is to produce the innovators, produce the researchers, produce more startups fellows, produce more entrepreneurs, produce more businessmen. So this is where the thought process is going, and we are giving more importance to the research side, and we are coming with research oriented institutes. And if any institute is interested more on the researching side, then we are going to identify them as a research oriented institute. And some institute, they may say, we are more towards delivering the degrees or more towards teaching side. So we are happy, let us produce millions of teachers for the entire globe. And let us, let our teachers teach every student under the globe. Let us, our research students, occupy the major research positions across the globe. So this is the thought process what we are carrying on the researching side.
Okay, sir. being an educationalist and an educational reformer, and you are in the since you are in the expert team or of the implementation of this NEP, so the outcome-based education is the punch theme for this NEP. So can you explain?
Very valid question, because what is happening when we did a research on various educational frameworks in the world, our previous old education system was built in a way that to produce the workers. In order to produce a worker, the rote methodology is what they adopted, which we call mug up. You read everything and you will mug up, you will put it here and you will write it as an exam and you will take a degree and go off. So it is producing only the workers, not a skilled manpower. So that's what we realized, and we changed the way we are delivering the content. Now the books which we are producing is more outcome based. What I mean by outcome based, I will give you a simple example. Let's say a 7th standard student learning about gravitational force. So now he is going to not only read, he needs to implement somewhere. He needs to write about that implementation with 5 examples. So 5 examples, practical examples he needs to give about the gravity. And he needs to give the examples of anti-gravity. And he needs to write one example about himself where he involved in one of the practical approach. And at the end of this thing, he needs to write something which is unique about the gravitational power. So what happens, he can't simply copy and paste from Google. So he needs to write, he needs to experience. So what it means is it is going to empower, it will make him understand, so that practically he know the fundamental difference between the gravity, because till now what is happening, everyone is mugging up what is gravity, you just go and write it. Now we are changing it. We are saying 50% for writing, the remaining 50% is for critical thinking. What do you think? Why do you think it is working like this? Give me a practical example. If you throw something up, why it is coming down? Why should it come down? What is that, it is flying? How come aeroplane is flying? So is there any devices which you think, can produce a anti-gravity? So all these kind of questions will generate and they need to answer for the rest of the 50%. I think this is the beautiful model. This is where we produce the innovators, we produce the researchers, we produce the entrepreneurs, and someone will understand that, okay, for this particular scenario, this is the gap, and they will work on those industries, and they will basically try to utilize that as an opportunity and create a business out of it. This is the thought process what we have. So that is where I see that the outcome based learning is going to play a major role. And another approach what we are doing is DIY. Within that outcome based is do it yourself. DIY means.
Yeah.
Because what happens is sometimes if you know how to do it, so you have practically touched it, you will remember. Instead of reading, you are experiencing. That's in experienced learning. That's what we call. So you can take up so many examples, but I will take a very simple, small example. See, now the camera is recording, right? So imagine the film which we used to have long back. So now someone visualized and put the digital entity within that. The digital entity is recording everything now. So someone visualized and someone experimented. Imagine our Indian students are visualizing and experimenting it. So they will understand, they will realize, and though slowly imagine one of our Indian students put 3D element to it. See, now it's a very plain 2D element. See, what you are recording is purely on a 2-dimensional model. But imagine now suddenly this become a metaverse and put something the 3D version. So that is where the DIY come into picture. Do it yourself. So they will experiment more and they will create something and they will give it back to the society. I think this is kind of a outcome based DIY models is what we are working, and we are even working on another very interesting thing called digital twinning. What we are doing is, example, let's take Germany is creating one very advanced aeroplane engine. So now that aeroplane engine is there physically in Germany, but our students will get a digital twin of that, and sitting within their college, they will touch it, they will open that machine, they will do a rewiring of that machine, they will produce that rewiring back, and that will get attached to it, they will see the result, and they can produce it back. So this experiment we did with a couple of colleges, and I'm so happy to say that one of the engine which we have received from Germany, and the students from one of the institute tweaked it, and they made it better, which was accepted. So imagine you are having a physical product somewhere else, and the students are sitting like this together as a group and opening it and working on it, remodeling it, producing and giving it back. So this is the power of digital twinning. So the national education policy is going to have such kind of amazing technologies, to give the best of the best to our students.
Okay, sir, that's a very good initiative, and it is very good that all the world has grabbed it. Sir, every university have got a syllabus for a course, but nowadays it is important, or it is saying by everybody that beyond the syllabus is also to be addressed in the class. How far this NEP will connect with this expression of beyond the syllabus subject, sir?
So NEP is agile in nature. So what it means is you can give ideas, we will evolve, we will implement. So in this entire process, anything which is feasible, because if you see 5 years back, no one used to wear mask. So now we all have masks, because the change in time, change in the necessity. So now the thought process is completely changed in a way that they are going to use the different technology, then the NEP will adopt that new technology and we will immediately implement. Example, Industry 4.0, that's a new technology, right? This Industry 4.0 we have immediately recognized, implemented, and we started putting that in curriculum. And AI, if you take, 4 years back, none of the engineering colleges, or very few engineering colleges, has this advanced AI as a specialization. Now we have adopted, we have started implementing a specialization for the AI itself. Digital, example, data analytics. Few years back, very few colleges used to have. Now we have that data analytics. So the national education policy is agile in nature. It observes any kind of a good suggestions, and immediately we will implement. So the cycle itself is very agile in nature and scrum in nature. The scrum has a very small life cycles. So immediately we will take it, we will try to implement in much faster sessions, not like early, where we used to take 5 years, 10 years, no more, we will work on weeks. So sometimes we will try to work on, days also, on need basis. So that kind of a decisions what we are taking. So any new technology comes into market, we are ready to adopt, and we will involve, we will put that as a curriculum.
Can you reduce our unemployment, especially in rural areas?
Very good question. Most of the people never realized, but in India we have 6,500 plus industry clusters, and every cluster has their strengths. Example, in this area, I know there's lots of banana cultivation. So out of that banana you can produce so many different kind of services and products which can be globally marketed, right? So imagine now we use an advanced technologies and put more people into it, so that imagine you are sending this entire outcome to the entire world. So you can employ millions in this industry. So what we did, we have analyzed the infrastructural requirements, we have analyzed the investments, we analyzed the future requirements of more than 160 countries, and we identified the skill sets we want. we identified 30 such skill sets, and we started teaching those 30 skill sets to our students. Because see, it's all about the future. So the students, by the time they come out, we want them to do minimum 4 to 5 internships and be ready for the market and grab opportunity in these 30 skills, because this 30 skills is going to drive the entire world for next 15 to 20 years. Maybe in some countries we even analyzed their requirements for up to 25 years. So what it really means is, we know what kind of opportunities, what kind of technologies, what kind of methodologies, what kind of frameworks they are going to use. And we are preparing our students as well as faculty in order to grab those opportunities. So this will basically reduce the unemployment in our country. And another beautiful thing what Ministry of Education as well as Government of India, especially under the Make in India process, is linked incentive schemes. What it really means is, the more you produce, the more incentive you get. But in order to produce more, you need more people to work in the industry, right? So they are employing more people. And we are basically training the students on a local level. That is the reason, we are always trying to connect the students with the local industries. We are trying to connect the students to the nearby reached high-tech industries. We are connecting the students to the MNCs. So these are the three different models what we are taking up. So every time we are requesting student to take three different kind of an opportunities. Let's say I as a student, I worked for Microsoft or any big MNC ones. Then we are requesting them, now you work for an MSME. Then once you finish, you try to work for a local industry, small industry. So that you will learn different dimensions, you will learn the people management, you will learn process management, you will learn how to communicate with the customer, you will learn how to work for a startup, you will learn how to work for a big MNC, you will learn how to communicate with them, you will learn how to mitigate, you will learn capacity building, you will learn so many things which is useful to run a business. So all this will result, either you will become an entrepreneur or you will become a worker, but high class, high quality worker, or you will become a researcher or you become an innovator. So this is a thought process, and we are envisioning and we are targeting to reduce unemployment by 5%. So imagine if we reduce unemployment by 5%, I think then it will create wonders in our country.
So, sir, another area is sustainable development goals. So how do we incorporate these sustainable development goals and our goals of education?
Very good question. So basically, as we all know, that a couple of colleges or institutes or schools in villages, their quality is very less. That's the reason in National Education Policy 2020 we have 5 pillars: accessibility, accountability, high quality, affordability also. So we have created a platform called NET. Basically this platform is almost similar to Amazon but for edutech companies. So imagine a edutech company wants to sell their edutech products and services. So now they need to go to reach everyone in a public market, and they will spend thousands of crores to create their brand. But at the end of the day, very few will purchase. So here we created this neat platform where they can sell their products and goods, edutech products and goods, to the 32 crore students. But in return, we take 1/5 of the seats for free of cost, and we will give this free of cost seats to the economically, socially backward, weaker section students. So those students are the one who is basically taking the seats for free of cost. So imagine a student in city purchasing one high quality product. So if 4 such students purchases one seat, we will take the 5th seat, we will take it for free from that company, and that seat is going to be given it to this economically weaker section students. See, this is what Honorable Prime Minister says, Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. That is what reflecting in the sustainability goals. Every student must have an equal opportunity, high quality opportunity, affordable opportunity. So all these are coming in this thing. And the other one what we did along with the quality education, we started doing universal value education. So in this universal value education, what happens is you will learn how to behave with the communities, how to do a service to the society, how to work with the deprived societies, how to work to empower the economics of the country, how to basically drive the societies for a change, how to adopt the challenges, how to resolve it, how to communicate in a mass way. I think we are not only giving them a advanced technological tools, we are giving them a social based solutions also, so that they will become a better human. So all these were covered under National Education Policy 2020, and we are even trying our best to penetrate to each and every college with all these aspects.
Sir, before we conclude our session, I have one more question. That is, we have been, Mangalam Group of Institution, have been trying to better the scope of education for differently abled students. So we have been trying to create an ability center instead of naming it as a disability center. We call it as an ability center.
Yes, because you are enabling them, you are
Yeah.
empowering them. I really appreciate such kind of a thought process. In NEP 2020 also we have a section dedicated for this kind of society of students, and I really appreciate such kind of social initiatives, and every college must follow such kind of initiatives, because everyone is equal. Why should we discriminate someone? So I appreciate this event, and we are also trying our best to give the best of the best for such superly enabled people. And one of the ingredient what we created in this is the textbooks in audio format and in Braille lipi. So this is again one area, and now we are working with few speech experts, who will basically create a content for people having issues of speaking. So we are coming up with couple of softwares, special softwares for these divyangs. So that is again another area where we are working. So we will definitely work with you also and try to take more inputs on that, and we will learn from you.
Now the AICT has released certain courses coming under emerging courses. So because of the impact of these emerging courses, the courses like civil engineering, mechanical engineering may bring down its demand. The people generally says that. So how do you comment about that, sir?
I mean, there is a difference between emerging technologies and a core engineering. So see, the core engineering is like a heart. Even though whatever you have body parts, but without core engineering, you can't be an engineer. So basically the emerging technologies are a value addition, but you must have a base engineering concepts. And trust me, most of the people, wherever I go, I say that there is a huge demand is going to come for a civil engineering students, which I think few are not realizing. Because of this COVID, lots of infrastructure projects got paused. Now they are restarting, and you will see in a year's time huge demand for civil engineering. And within our country also we have improved our infrastructure like anything. So what it really means is, do you know, sir, there are 6,500 plus critical infrastructure projects running in our country, which is going to result more than 15 lakh opportunities only for civil engineers. It's a huge demand for civil engineers, but very few are recognizing. I request, if you are a civil engineering student, you are so fortunate to be a civil engineering student, whether you are a diploma civil engineering or engineering, engineer, civil engineering, but huge demand. So don't lose the hope. That's one of the core area everyone needs it. See, now the world is even expanding. So in this expansion, how you will expand other than without a civil engineer help? The world can't move forward. Civil engineering and architectural engineering, I think these two are like two eyes for the engineering departments. See, the computer technology is a value addition, because if the world is becoming digitized, But even though irrespective of everything is getting digitized, you need a infrastructure along with the technologies. I think so. I see that a huge demand for civil engineering, and if I'm the college owner, if then I never drop civil engineering from my college.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
In the midst of his busy schedule, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar is with us. So we are thankful to him. Mangalam Group of Institution is greatly indebted to his curiosity and critical ability to analyze, interpret things and events for us or for our students. Thank you.